He's got a house, a Tesla, and zero game. Meet Spreadsheet Bay. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to your psychic profiling service. Bestie, psychic medium, all the things. If you're new to the channel, I don't have the best presentation when it comes to like the words and the things, and but we are having a lot of fun over here. This is back by popular demand, and this is the matchmaking dating profiling service. Like I said, I'm not feeling particularly verbose today, but that being said, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to try and knock these out of the park. I had a bunch of my friends, colleagues. We're going to use a little fringe action here and clip in. Are we? Okay, we are live. And so we are going to, so let's get, I had them, if you don't know anything about psychics, we tend to be notoriously single. First of all, we tend to be very beautiful. You can call it cocky or not. A lot of times you won't see their faces because we don't like calling a lot of attention to ourselves, right? And the reason why that happens to be is because most of us are psychic because of trauma and sexual abuse. So if you think of a very beautiful child that attracted a lot of predators, there's a disassociation go there. You start, playing with your imaginary friends while adults are doing bad things to you. Well, this just got heavy very quickly, but this is what it's going to be all about. And if you want to get more into trauma and all that other stuff, you can go join me over at my Substack. Hey, Diary of the Black Sheep. So when we talk about like psychics and you know what I mean, we tend to, a lot of them, I was like, surprised, but it's because we tend to be beautiful because we had a lot of trauma. So we disassociated when we were younger while bad things were happening. We talked to our guides. They stayed with us. We go through the whole karmic family situation, yada, yada, yada. So where were we going with that? Oh, I was just kind of giving you a heads up. Like, this is where I'm at right now. You got the ADHD. I haven't grounded that much today. So we're probably going to crack a beer here versus a tea. When I talk about like drinking and working, like now it's like almost right with work. It's hand in hand because I step into somebody's energy and I start astraling. The other day, I stepped in. I was getting a reading. I guess this is just to catch up. I was getting a reading from one of my favorite psychics. So I know it wasn't her energy, but I stepped into the reading and it was like, who misunderstood you or something like that, and why do they regret it or what have you. And so I went into the energy of that reading. This is why it's all energy, right? And I immediately, like, I knew who it was because I projectile vomited. That's how that particular person's energy, when I get in their energy, I vomit like almost immediately. It's so toxic that my body, right? Like just being around toxic people. If you have diarrhea all the time, or let's say like when I got married, I started having IBS. I never had IBS. Okay. And then it went away. And then I moved into like, let's say a toxic home, and then it started, right? But could it be the poison, or could it be a little bit of both? I don't know. We're going to find out. It's all going to come out in the wash, Mayos. And you know who. But hello, I think I've already done this. It's like, man, oh man. The energy, well, you have to understand that Mercury retrograde. Looking at that. This is the last day, or tomorrow is the last day of the post shadow. And if you have a ton of mercurial placements, right, you will notice your readers 2 weeks before Mercury retrograde or 1 week before will start flubbing up. But even if I'm dyslexic, so I do it naturally. So you'll see it even more. Mercury is the planet of communication. So when it goes retrograde, it doesn't mean that it's actually going backwards. It just stops. It's the energy of it, right? It's not the planet itself. It's the energy. And so this is why we don't, get a lot of things. People are like, oh, you're so lazy and this, that, and the other. I'm like, no, I'm waiting for the astrology, just like everybody else did. Alex Hormozy, President Trump, Tony Robbins, like all of these people that are like, boom, boom, boom. You think it's back to school season. No, bro. It's called Lionsgate. It's like roll with the punches. It's like get something off the ground, because Mercury retrogrades are always about refining, right? So I've just been ticking along, taking all of my, my recipes, everything like that, fine tuning, doing all the graphics, everything that you see on my channel, all 800 thumbnails were designed by me. Not one of them have been AI. The first AI thumbnail or whatever was that little ad that I made like 2 days ago about Pastor Kevin. That's the first AI, and I'm like, I don't even know if I can trust AI with this shit. So I guess this is a little bit of a catch up in giving you. So this is, we'll just go into it because I do have it here. So this is my swipe worthy and story ready package. So we have the espresso shot, which you could basically, so I have a list of 20 services right? If you are interested in like leveling up your dating life, if you need just a character assessment, a new bio, and someone to audit, you know, your dating pages or whatever, something like that. Or do you need like a full on, like, let's talk about your wardrobe. Let's go through you. Everything can be, excuse me, done remotely. I am speaking very, very quickly. Let me slow it down. And so then you also have your CEO sprint, which is like 2.5 hours. That would be you using 3 credits out of the list of 25. And then we have, excuse me, the CEO for a day, where you can pick 6. And depending on what it is, you know, if it's a wedding, more than likely it's going to be about 6 hours versus if it's just LinkedIn and bios and all that other stuff. And so all of that will be linked down below. It's my matchmaking. I mean, if you, all you want is for us to go through profiles and choose out the best ones, because I can just pull cards on any of them, right? And so to be able to do that and just be like, yes, no, like, what are their intentions? How will this turn out? Because here's the thing. The beautiful thing is, if you haven't, because people are like, well, how can you tell the future? The only way I can tell the future is if someone else is, if it's a static situation. Once you get into the relationship. So let me break this down for you so you guys know how this works. I'm anticipating talking to this person. Their energy is in mine, all the other stuff. I can pull cards in them and I can tell you what's going to happen because I haven't engaged with them unless it's just, you know, online. But once you make a connection, right, now they're in your energy, they're wrapped up in your karma. And so when I pull cards, your timeline is going to change also based on their decisions. So that's free will. So yes, I can predict it, but as soon as they make a different decision, so I can predict right now as it stands, as long as nothing's been touched. That's why we call ourselves, you know, well, I like to, because I come from the aviation community, is air traffic control. We see the hazmat. We tell you to duck and go here and go higher and go lower and land the plane right now before, you know, we see the hazmat on the tarmac before we land the plane. Right? That's what we are here for guidance, right? If you're going to somebody, and here's another thing, I've got a service, you can put it in the character profiling. I will debunk any psychic. You're like, is my person, you know, like the person I go to, whatever, I will let you know if they're real. And being psychic is also very different from being a very good tarot reader, right? There are a lot of variations. So I because there are a lot of people out there that bring a bad name, and my colleagues are amazing. And some of them are very scary, and some you don't want to see their faces. You just want to see their hands. So I think we're going to leave it there just as a introductory. I've got 35 of them. Oh, that's where we were going. Let's go ahead and wrap that up. So I went to psychics tend to be single. Well, it's also scary to date us, right? Because you can't lie. Like, you can't get away with it. You're just like, I was here at the store, and you're like, okay, well, I just pulled it like in real time, right? So people tend to, you know, say, why do you think I don't have any friends? Because, right, here's the thing is, you don't have to be perfect. You just don't have to be nefarious, right? Like, I've been human. Like, I say I've been, that's so weird. But I am human, right? I do make mistakes and all the other stuff. I just make a conscious decision to wake up and be happy and not hurt the people I love. The people that I love are not the people that I'm going to take anything. I'm not going to take anything out on a dog, on anything. Anything, I'll take it out on myself. I am my worst critic. But I've gotten better at that, right? And that takes time. And, you know, cultivating character. Who is the person that do you want to be? Would you date you? Right? This is the thing, because we can go in here and we can dress these people down all day long. But would you date you? Like, seriously, like, are you in your best behavior? And then all of a sudden you gain 20, 30 pounds in the first 3 months. And then, you know what I'm saying? You know, hey, I was there. I've lost 100. I'm back down 170 pounds versus 160. But now it's like muscle and all the things, right? So I want to give you all the kisses and the love. And even though, yes, we're doing this matchmaking, profiling, all this other stuff, we also have to put the finger on us. Like, why, you know, because here's the thing is, a lot of people, like, the guy that you think is the best is going to be the worst. Oh, and then I'm going to be launching a Patreon. This is going to be so much fun. I'm going to figure out how to get y'all signed up, because it's going to be expensive, right? This is exclusive access to me. You're like, what do you think is so cool? Well, I'll show you what's so cool is card profiling, right? Take that as confirmation. You want to go into a car, you know, to go get a car or to have a client, or if you're dating somebody, whatever, you can just take a deck of cards, right? And profile them right there and know what you're walking into. You can know how you need to be. Excuse me, walking in there. Like this is something that, and I'm going to be putting up a class, but on Patreon, this is why it's going to be so exclusive, is because we're going to be doing live. So we are going to be starting with there's a new show coming up, but right now I'm just going through like old. I was never a reality TV girl, didn't watch a lot. I wasn't exposed to it a lot, and I just didn't like it. But now for profiling, it's absolutely fabulous, because so what we're going to be doing is basically like grabbing our tea, grabbing our snickety snacks, going live. You get your deck of cards, I get my deck of cards, and we're going to start reading people in real time so you can identify the narcissists and the players and the good-hearted people and what people's intentions are. And so that's going to be a little bit at willy-nilly, but like again, you know, I'm $120 an hour just with regular psychic, you know, profiling services. So you know, $50 a month, you'll also get like a free reading. We're going to do all the things. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a party. We're going to be doing like low flow, like how to learn how to exercise like in a sexy way. So you're kind of getting two birds done with one stone, and like how to fall in love with yourself. And I'll have exclusive calendars of where to find, you know, here's the thing is I will teach hypergamy. I know how to do all the things, but I'm not good with the finessing and all this other stuff. But some people just need like a heads up. Some people just need an audit, right? So if you don't want the free reading, I think we're going to do like a free birth chart or profiling, something along those lines. So you're going to get a great bonus. Like every month, you're going to have a lot of value, but really the value is the real time, because there's nothing like pulling cards while you're watching people. The energy is just energy, right? I can do a reading for you in person, which I prefer not to, because then I got to cleanse myself a lot. Or I can do it when they're in Singapore, right? It's just an energy exchange. You think of someone, that's telepathy. You think of someone and they call you. That's an energetic bond. Go watch the telepathy tapes. I have not watched them, but I've heard a lot about them, and I connect, you know, with autists, you know, because I believe I'm on the spectrum. I'm not going to claim it. I've been told I'm on the spectrum, but I think I'm more on the Aspergery, right? Because women, you know, ladies, we present differently when it comes to ADHD. There's a lot of masking. It tends to be like hyper focused, right? So people are like, how can she do, you know, 16 hours? And I'm like, I'm channeling my ADHD, which is supposed to be, because if you're doing something that you love, then you can't stop doing it, right? So I just started doing stuff that I love, and then I stopped getting burnt out, right? And you still get burnt out, but you're maximizing, right? This is all about efficiency here, right? I'm a Capricorn. I'm like, get it done fast. I want the short. That's why I got into real estate, right? Give me the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time and the least amount of education, right? And by the way, anybody that knew, well, I don't know, you probably don't know, but right now, if you're thinking about getting into real estate, I think it's like $500 or $300 now to go ahead. It's like a 6-week course, or I think it's even shorter. Go get your real estate license. Why? Because we are about to go into something. Here's the thing. Why am I a great friend? Because I know it's about to happen in the next 18 months. I am preparing. While you're sitting around here swinging cats by their tails, I'm hunkering down and amassing my body of work. Why? Because we might have to be in bunkers. Okay? So that's why I'm such a good friend. It's not like, oh, like your mommy loves you and your daddy's sitting next to you and this, that, and the other. This is real-time stuff. This is called, which property should I buy? This is a hell yes. This is a hell no. This is, in the words of George W. Bush II or whatever, it's strategery. Okay? So we're not here doing the woo. I can do the woo for you, but it pisses me off. Honestly, there are so many other people. If you want to know what house, know what spouse, know what to wear, right? That's going to be to maximize everything like that. Then you're going to stick here and you're going to please and subscribe, even though I'm going to yell and rant. But I will always admit that I'm now climbing off of my soapbox, taking myself off of the cross, saying humbly, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening to the Rants and Raves. It is what it is. It comes in cycles, and we're going to talk about all of that. We've got, if you're interested in this package, it's really, really cool. I'm not gonna lie. So like if you go to the Beacons link, you're gonna see like the list of everything, so you can just check off 1, 3, or 6. The $47 package is going to be going up to $99. I'm not sure it's gonna be any, again, we're like, this is imperfect execution. I don't like using the word sloppy. I know that was my thing. Sloppy execution, because it really hits home, is better than perfect planning. But I'm very, very careful with the words, my verbiage, right? Like that's how you fine tune your vibration. I don't say, Mara, you're so dumb. I'm like, Mara, I look forward to next time because we learned something from that, right? You just got to change the neuropathy, right? You have to stop saying the things that people have been telling you your entire life. You have to create your own lexicon with it's the universe or Allah or God or whoever it is. If you believe in God and you believe in the universe and you believe in nothing, it's still like you can't, going to a show, like seeing animals and you're like, you don't believe in a God? Okay, it doesn't have to be my God. It doesn't have, but you didn't believe, you just believe this is complete evolution. Okay, right on, bro. You know, this is my favorite. It's kind of like in Texas when they say, bless your heart. With me, it's like, go get him, tiger. We're going to stop on that note. Again, dame besos. I'm giving you the besos. I think dame means for me. I don't know. But I love y'all so much. And yeah, if you want to check that out, I'm going to have it linked, that this particular reading. And then we're just going to jump to the next and hop right into our first person. I know it was a ramble, it was a rant, but like, when I start, somebody needed to hear this, right? Somebody needs to get inspired. Get inspired. Don't get jelly. Get inspo or whatever. I love the kitties. Bye.